Okay, I want to show you the best that I can. I don't know how to do this, but I get a grasp of what's going on. When you watch the news, okay, I knew Sandy Hook was faulty from the beginning, and I'll tell you why. And you'll find this yourself if you just listen to what I'm saying, and it's based on what I'm going to show you. In the very beginning of Sandy Hook, when the story came out, they said that there were 18 children that were shot and 9 adults. That's 27. 9 is the main number because 9 represents Saturn, okay? So we're going to use Saturn and 9. Think of those two. The symbol and the number are one and the same. And if you want to use that in a religious aspect, then you're going to take 9 and apply that to Satan. So you got Saturn, you've got the number 9, and you've got Satan. Okay? They're all the same thing. Okay? So when they said that there were 27 people involved, I knew immediately that the story was bullshit. Because our reality is being manipulated, and the only way I can show you is through numbers. It still goes back to this cube thing. CERN is helping do all of this stuff. Okay? So if we look at this here, you'll see that you have 4 circles with 4 hexagons inside of them, or cubes, okay? So you've got, if you see here, this first one, you've got a 3, a 9, and a 6, or a 3, 6, 9, right? You see how it reverses here? The one that's pointing up is positive. The one that's pointing down is negative. That's how everything in the world works. It's positive, negative, positive. It's like they're like little motors. This goes from the teeniest to the most massive thing. Saturn is a big generator. You're a generator. It's all generator. That's why you call the generation. Okay? That has to do with a phase or a sine wave. Okay? So we see 3, 6, 9. That's positive. Then this flips and it becomes 3, 6, 9 going the other way. So here the 9 is positive, here the 9 is negative. The 6 and the 3 here are positive, here they're negatives. All right? And we see as this thing spins, the number changes, but it still equals 9. 8 and 1 is 9. You see it's 8 and 1 is 9, 8 and 1 is 9. So 9 is always the main dude. Okay? There is no 11 here. 7 and 2 is 9. 4 and 5 is 9. So you get it. You get what I'm saying, okay? So let's move on to this. This cube thing here is this thing right down here. Now, if you read, it'll tell you the corresponding first 2 triangles. This is what you see on the Israeli flag, 3, 6 to 9, and 6, 3, and 9. Okay? This is all science, quasi-alchemy, magic, whatever you want to call it. This is what our reality is based off of, and this what they do is it's coded in news stories so that those that know how to manipulate this shit know how to work it. Okay, so it always has to do with 3, 6, and 9. All you got to do is just add the numbers in the story, and you'll know right away that for the most part, they're going to come up to 3, 6, and 9. If they say, for instance, 2 children died on the south side in a fire. One was 2 and one was 1 year old. Well, you know it's 3, okay? These numbers will keep repeating because there's a sequence to this. So you look for 3, 6, and 9. And you always take your double digits and combine them to try and get a single number. So Sandy Hook Elementary, 18 children. I knew right away that's 9. Okay, and then they turn around and then they said so it was 18 children and 9 adults. So now we've got 9 and 9. That's 18 and that's 9. Okay, so I'm just telling you to look for these numbers. You'll see these numbers. These are the oddballs. But if you look here, 1 and 5, you'll see that all the time is 6. They'll either write 6 is 2 and 4, 1 and 5, 6 by itself. Once you start reading these news stories, you'll see these numbers keep adding up. Here's this thing, which is this thing. Okay? This is the cube. As it spins, see how it's spinning? See how it's spinning? It does this. If it's spinning this way, okay, it's opening. So that's the male aspect of this thing. If it's spinning the other way, it's closing. That's the female aspect. So here we see it here. That's why I'm telling you, those kids, I don't know where the fuck they went, but they went somewhere. Now, here's a picture of I Ching. You see this? I know you've seen this before, you just don't realize it. This is a magnet in the center. This is positive with a negative pole. This is negative with a positive pole. You see, these are magnets going around here. See this? This is the same thing. We go back to here. How many spaces we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We look at CERN. How many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? This thing in here, these are all magnets. This is a big magnet. What they're manipulating reality. That's what they're doing. They're manipulating reality, and I don't have this down to a science. I'm just trying to give you numbers so that when you read stories, you'll know that the same numbers keep coming up over and over again, which means the story's bullshit and it's manipulated. Every now and then you'll find one that's got numbers that are off, but it's usually multiples of 3, 6, and 9, or numbers that add up to 3, 6, and 9. If we look at this, here's the seal of Saturn. Okay, that's what it is. There it is, the seal of Saturn. And what do we have? A 3, a 6, and a 9, right? Instead of just having a skinny line like this, like we normally see, they've made it wider, okay? And here in the center is the magnet, okay? So what you need to remember is this is the top dude, and these are the corners. So the stories will always add up to either 3, 6, or 9, or you'll see these numbers, 3, 6, and 9, or you'll see 1 and 8, or 7 and 2, or whatever. When you read those and you start catching these numbers, you'll start understanding that these stories are created. Okay? If you go read about CERN, it says that CERN costs $9 billion. So there's 9. And they said it's a place of enchantment, which doesn't make sense to most people. Why? Because this thing is creating reality. It's fucking with your reality. It's this thing. And it's this thing. Okay? This is creating reality. It's just that most people don't know how to access this thing to create the reality. And that gets into a whole other thing, and I'm not qualified to speak about it, so I'm not going to. Just understand the numbers that I'm giving him. Okay? In the Bible, 6, 6, and 6 is 18. 18 is what? 18 equals 9. And 9 is the top dude right here. So just start doing your addition, and you'll understand that the stories are all preemptive bullshit. It's almost like the cosmic computer is kicking out these stories. But that doesn't mean that you're just supposed to go willy-nilly. Keep your guard up.